Well, hey guys and gals, it's me, George, the Shade Tree Fix-It Man, and we've got a little bit of a warming trend. It's almost 40 degrees today, and I'm out here in the shop. I didn't think you'd want to watch a video of paint drying. I did repaint the body on the Goofy cart, actually several times because it kept wrinkling up around the edges where it was sanded. I finally got it so it's pretty well. I sanded the whole side down to bare metal. It may have had to do with the fact that I used lacquer thinner to clean the flames off. I don't know. Anyway, I'm probably going to work on the flames on the other side while the repaint is drying and curing. But that's another story. I have something there I have to fix on this. Does not want to start well, and I had kind of a problem with it starting before, even with the other carburetor on it. And I noted, and several of my commenters also noted, that the gas was running right out of the neck here, right out of the throttle body, and just dripping down. And part of the reason for that is because of the rake of the frame. You know, we got the big tires in the back, little ones in the front, we got a dropped axle and all that, and the motor is following the angle of the frame, and so the carburetor is too. The carburetor needs to be on the level. So I'm thinking that I need to modify my adapter that I made here. And what I'm thinking I will do is probably I will just cut a slice in the top of this and bend it up to the right angle and re-weld it. Get the carburetor at a proper angle. And that should help it to start a whole lot better, I think. So that's my project for today. And when I get that done, I'll bring you back and show you the results. Hang on to your hats, because here we go. Well, guys and gals, I did some major modifications to this thing. As you can see, instead of the intake going down and under the exhaust, I got it coming straight out. I have a problem though. This stupid carburetor is leaking like a sieve. I mean, this is a brand new carburetor. I guess I'm going to have to take it apart and check the float level in it somehow. I've never worked on one of these before. I had a hard time finding the fuel mixture adjustment. It's buried down in the back. Seems like an unlikely place, but I guess if it's on a motorcycle it wouldn't be so hard. But even just sitting here now, it's still leaking. But at least now it starts on its own. Before I was having to shoot some starting fluid into it to get it go, partly because the carburetor was not level, and also because you had to draw it up. You know, the original intake was set up like this, so it had to draw that fuel mixture all the way up. And I think that's part of the reason on the snowblowers it had a primer bulb as well as a choke, because they were hard starting. Starts well now, and I've got it idling pretty well. Not perfect. We're going to find out why that float bowl is flooding over. Good response. Yeah, good response. The gas tank came right off. The gas line came right off of the gas tank. We're just running off the carburetor now. Much better response than the original carburetor had on it. And I found out what the squeak was. Now you can hear me a little bit better. Let me move you over here. Tight quarters to get around in here if you got a tripod. The squeak was right down here on this bushing. While they are oil impregnated, I had cleaned everything so it was all dry, so I gave it a squirt of some motorcycle chain lube, and that stopped it. When I take it all apart, put it all back together, all these things are going to get greased, so I shouldn't have those problems. So yeah, I am disappointed that this carburetor doesn't function better. They had the fuel mixture was screwed all the way in. So the only way I could get it started and keep it running initially was to keep the choke closed. And it ran fine with the choke closed. But as soon as I would try to open the choke, it would stall out. So yeah, I've got a lot to learn. I haven't done much on motorcycles over the years, so I'm not really familiar with this kind of a carburetor. Well, I thought you'd like to see that. Of course, I did create another problem in that now that the carburetor is pointing out this way, it's right above where my gas pedal is. And my foot is 12 inches long. Can you see where the 12 inches is? Well, the tripod is up high, so you're not looking equally straight in. But I can tell you that 12 inches is very close to my carburetor. And plus I need to put an air cleaner on here of some kind. I'm going to have to figure out a way to have it go up. The ones that I have are angled, but they would still come out further. Let me get one and show it to you. Okay, so I lowered the tripod down, so we're looking pretty much straight at the carburetor. And you can see my shoe here, and I've got a little bit of clearance there, but not a whole lot. If I were to put something on there straight on, yeah, it might just clear. As long as I didn't push my foot up any higher than that. That's what I want to use for an air cleaner. That's actually a sprinkler nozzle. But let me show you the ones that I have that I had bought. I bought these quite a while ago. And here's the first one I bought. Actually is for the, I forget what the number's on this. This is a 27 millimeter, and I had bought a 30 millimeter first, thinking that, you know, a little bit bigger is better, you know, put a 4-barrel on it. This would work on the 30, and that might clear like that. It's got blue tape on it to keep the metal clean. That might work like that, but it's too big. I could get another one that fits the carburetor. But it ain't very cool, you know. I mean, everybody's got one of those if they've got a motorcycle. Then I have this one here. Come on, get on there. There we go. I have this one here. And that might work. It'll be close. You know what I'm saying? Let you see. But you can see my foot would come real close. If I'm pushing down on that puppy, it would be right below it. So, and I might be wanting to put my foot up higher. I'd have to be aware that I don't want to push against that air filter, you know what I mean? So that's the second one. This is the one that I think I could modify it and take this end off of it and mount this on there. This is kind of a copper color, you know, and I'm going to have some copper colored accents on here. This is more steampunk looking too, so I don't know. It's something for me to think about anyway. Then I have one other, and who knows, I might go back to something like what I did on my lawnmower. Then I had seen this one online, and I bought this one quite a while ago as well. Now that one, I guess that one would be okay. That would get it up out of the way. And even if I tipped it further forward, I guess that would work. Oh, I don't know. What do you think? I like the red. It's going to go along with some red accents that we're going to have on here. Red in the flames, because we've got red wheels, you know. But it's, I was thinking it would be a little more old school looking when I first saw it. There's nothing saying I have to use it all the time. But I wanted something a little bit more ingenious, and that's why I really, really like this copper colored thing. You know, maybe I could do some modifications on that to make it work. Those are a couple of possibilities that I'm thinking about. So yeah, that's my progress. And let me lift you up there and show you the intake manifold. What I did was, it's the same adapter that I had before. Let me take you off the stand here. This is the same adapter that I had before. You remember it had the big round washers here. Well, I cut them down to match the ports and to match the port on the carburetor itself. And I rotated the screw holes. You can see the original screw holes that I had for mounting on the factory intake manifold. I'm going to weld those up and grind them off. And the carburetor sits pretty close to level now. It isn't perfect, but you got to remember my rear wheels are off the ground by looks like about 3 inches. So by the time my rear wheels are back down on the level, I think the carburetor will be just right. And as you saw, it starts right up. I mean, it's not a problem. Let me move my it starts right up. Whoa! Something just dropped in the back. What was that? Oh, yeah. This side here is actually almost sitting down on the wheel. It came off of my stand, and you can see why I don't want to be running this too much. And of course I was running it and had it cranked up. This is not hooked up, and I haven't got this rod tied in all the way across. There's no nut inside here. I got to adjust that. So yeah, I got to lift that back up and put it back on the stand. Going to drive it right off the bench. Yeah, it almost did too. We have a catastrophe looking to happen right there. Oh yeah, okay. Well, anyway, how was that for a lot of excitement? Time for me to get things squared away. And I'm going to be picking up a couple of slotted hubs like we used on the backs of the wheels, like those right there. And I'm going to cut this hub off of here. It has a very, very tiny slot in it, very tiny. So I'm going to cut this off here. It has these 4 welds on it, and I think then it will come off. I think this weld here is a factory weld that was on the hub that's inside here. There's actually a hub inside of a hub. So anyway, I'm going to put those slotted key weighted pieces, one on either side, and then I can lock that in place, Then we can get everything tied back together. So until next time, this is George, the Shade Tree Fix-It Man, saying thanks for watching. The paint is drying, and I expect I'll be doing some flames tomorrow on the opposite side from where I had started. How's that? Chrome, man, chrome. That's what I'm after. And it looks pretty good because it's got the red foam inside of it. All this is that red foam rubber one you saw. And it just happens to be that this is a push-on fit right over that foam. I'm thinking I'm liking that. Yes, I am. Bye now.